Meatball George, how are you today?
Hello, good. Look, I put in Meatball Bargains instead, but that's okay. Meatball Bargains is our store on eBay. And the
Oh,
other participants that we use in Brass Armadillo Antique Mall store and in Facebook Marketplace and on Whatnot. But no, this is not sponsored.
all
How are
right,
you, John?
I'm good. How are you? So,
Good.
the Bills have set their 53-man roster for the year.
Right.
They have, they are ready to go. It is currently Sunday. We're what, 6 days, 5 days until football?
Yes.
The Bills are starting. The NFL has it right. They have the Bills as in the first game, season opener, as it were, on prime time. We already talked. Well, we did a video of your predictions for the 53-man roster. Who would make it? Who would be cut? We didn't really talk much about the practice squad,
Right.
but just who would make the 53-man roster. So, give me your results? How did it work out?
All right. Well, I was pretty close, but as always, I had a few misses. And one of those misses was not only a miss, it was a swing and a miss and a strikeout. But here we go. I had on for the kicker, Tyler Bass. That was a gimme.
Okay.
Long snapper, Reed Ferguson. That was a gimme. Quarterbacks, I had Josh Allen and Case Keenum, and that's exactly what happened.
100% so far.
Running back, Singletary, Moss, and Cook. Again, 100%.
Yeah, perfect.
Fullback, Gilliam.
Still good.
Now, here's where I get one swing and a miss. I had, for wide receivers,
Okay.
Diggs and Davis, McKenzie, Crowder, Shakir, Stevenson, Kumaro, and Hodgins. And where my miss was is they cut Hodgins and then they signed him to the practice squad. So he's still part of the Bills, but not on the 53-man roster.
Okay.
The rest I got.
The rest you got. So actually, they kept one less receiver than you anticipated.
Yeah, and I remember you questioned me like, oh, that many receivers? You were right. Too many. I tell you, if I didn't have Kumaro, I was on the fence about adding Kumaro. So if I would have dropped one, it would have been Kumaro, and then I would have been wrong anyway.
All right, so there you go, swing and a miss. Yeah. All right, but they did think enough of him to offer him a practice squad spot. Interesting that him and his agent didn't think that perhaps he could hook on elsewhere.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Next position group.
Tight end, I had Knox, OJ Howard, and Sweeney. And that's my big miss by a mile was I had OJ Howard as the number 2 tight end, and he's not on the team and he's not on the practice squad. I thought that they would take Morris and add him to the practice squad, which they did. But I was sure that they would go with 3 tight ends on the active roster, and one of them being OJ Howard, and he's long gone. He's on his horse and rode west.
Yeah, the last I heard, Cincinnati was talking to him. I don't know if he got signed or not, but that was the last I heard. So definitely no practice squad for him. All right. So how about offensive line? I believe that's the last.
For center, I had Morris, and of course that was a gimme.
Yeah.
Then on offensive tackle, I had Brown, Dawkins, and Tommy Doyle under the tackles.
All right.
And then for guards, I had Saffold, Manch, Hart, Bodker, Bates, and Van Rotten. And where I missed is Manch. He did not make the team, but they signed him back on the practice squad. So I had one too many, or did I miss one on that line?
Mance didn't make the team.
No, didn't he go to the practice squad?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yep. I don't know. Maybe he did. Yeah, that is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
I had him on the 53. Saffold, Manch, Hart, Bodker, Bates, and Van Rotten. And well, who did make it was Manch, and he's now on the practice squad.
All right.
I'm really surprised that Hart made it,
Everyone is,
but
except for the Bills coaches. They're the only ones who thought, well, this is a good idea.
John, is there anybody I missed? Am I missing anybody on the current roster?
Not that I'm aware of. Van Rotten, did he made the squad or he made the practice squad?
The squad.
Okay. No, that's good. I thought you did good. I'm a little surprised about Mance in so much as I'm not entirely sure who their backup center is on game day.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, they got it listed on there as Bates.
Now that's okay. If you remember when Feliciano was with us and he was the backup center, when Mitch Morse got the concussion, Feliciano had to go from guard to center, and then they brought in another guard.
Right.
And apparently that's what they'll do with Bates. It's interesting. It means that you have two positions, two guys. Like, you lost your center, and then you're also going to not play your best guard at the guard spot. So that really redoes the offensive line on you. But all right, if that's the way they want to do it, that's fine.
Now, defensive
Our decision.
Yeah, defensive side, I got for defensive end, Epinesa, Rousseau, Basham, and Von Miller, and that's how it ended.
Okay, so hold on. On the defensive side, Epinesa.
Oh yeah,
keep going. So
and Shaq Lawson.
Epinesa, Rousseau, Boogie Basham. You had him.
Von Miller and Shaq Lawson.
So that's 5. So I think last year they had 6. So, and that's all they had, right? They didn't keep anybody else there, I don't believe.
No.
All right. So how about the tackles? I think you got
the tackles. Right? They got Ed Oliver, Jordan Phillips, Tim Settle, and Daquan Jones. Daquan Jones.
Okay.
So they kept 4 interior and 5 on the outside.
Really, for the defensive line, I don't think there was much talk about who would make the team. With the possible exception is it possible that Epinesa wouldn't make the team. But if you think in terms of numbers, he can still, even if he only plays 10 or 20% of the snaps, those are still important snaps, and they're going to go with their guy. So nobody beat him out, I guess.
Right.
All right. What do you want to do next? Linebackers?
Linebackers, I had Milano, Bernard, Edmonds, Spector, and Dotson.
And who made it?
I think that they made it, but if you could check me, I think Matakevich, they kept him.
Okay. I think Matakevich made the team. So okay. So
they kept an extra linebacker.
One more linebacker than what you thought.
You're right.
But they one less receiver than you thought. So maybe that's where we ran out of numbers. Okay. Dotson's there. I think that they really feel like Dotson is the backup to Edmonds.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, but we'll keep that on your mind. I got a question on that. Okay. Cornerback. Trey White, of course, he's on the PUP list. Kyer Elam, Dane Jackson, Teron Johnson, Cam Lewis, and Christian Benford.
Right. Okay.
And that's what they kept.
That's how many is that, Trey? Is that 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with one on the PUP list is 6.
So, no, White was on the 53-man roster. So right. you got them. Okay, so that's they still have 5. They had 6. They still have 5. Is that right? Okay. Safeties.
Hoyer, Hyde, and Hamlin.
Is that the only safeties they kept?
I got. Let me pull it back up. Okay, do you mind?
Not at all.
Because I want to make sure that I'm not missing. Oh, Saran Neal.
Oh.
Yeah, I had him here. I had him on a different line.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He's been around a few years, and I think they do like him, George. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like him. I'm saying I think that they just think highly of him. And even he didn't get a lot of playing time that I saw in preseason games.
Right.
So neither did Dotson. To me, that's an indication that he wasn't really competing for a job. He really already had it. All right. So what are your thoughts on this group?
Well, I'm just doing a real quick scan through here. Yep, Matakevich they kept. Quentin Morris made it. Saran Neal.
Hey, while you're scanning.
Oh, I missed one here. Quisenberry.
Now, did you put him on a tackle, right?
But I didn't keep him.
Oh, yeah, but they kept him.
Yeah, I had 3 tackles: Brown, Dawson, Brown, Dawkins, and Doyle, and I should have known to have another one, and it was Quisenberry.
Well, I think they like the guys who are very flexible and can do multiple positions, and I think Quisenberry can. So whether you really put him in at guard, interior, or outside offensive line, in fact, I think he may be the starter day one.
Well, that's what I mean. There was another huge swing and a miss. I mean, I didn't have him making the team, and he's going to be the starter. So that was a huge miss for me. So I had a couple of misses.
I'm showing you my little paintbrush.
Yeah.
I use it to get the dust off my keyboard and stuff.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That was.
Speaking of sharing, what are you drinking today?
Just a nice French vanilla coffee.
Very nice. Any Kahlua or just a French vanilla? I'm doing. I got a bottle. I don't know if you can even tell because there's of Guinness Drought.
Don't forget, it's earlier here than it is there, so it's like.
Yeah, it's almost 3:00 here. So, but George, it's 4:00. It's 5:00 somewhere. Isn't that how the song goes?
Yeah, but
It's too early. All right. Well, you got a big day on a boat ahead of you. You got to stay sober.
Yeah, see, I got to drive that boat.
All I got to do is walk around the stage of the draft, so I'm fine.
So really, I had Hodgins, who ended up on the practice squad, and I missed Quisenberry, and I had a big miss on Howard, OJ Howard.
So what is that?
Otherwise,
3 out of 53. That's not bad, George.
Yeah,
not bad at all.
And don't forget, we were doing 52 because we didn't know who the punter would be.
That's true. I think you only did 52, right? You didn't anticipate an extra player. All right. So really, the Bills kind of cheated. They kept 53, knowing that they were still needed a punter. They cheated. You were trying to play it straight up.
Yeah, that means somebody is going off this team.
Well, they cleared up one spot with the Trey White move.
Mm-hmm.
And wide receivers. Who are your wide receivers? You had 7, right?
I had Crowder, Davis, Diggs, McKenzie, Shakir, Stevenson, Hodgins, and Kumaro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I believe the Stevenson's made the roster, correct?
Yes.
But
he's on IR or whatever you want to call it.
So they wanted him to be on the 53-man roster. If you put him on IR before the season, right, you lose him for the season. So they actually could clear up 2 spots. So they actually, at least at the start of the season, they went from 53 down to 51 as soon as they made those moves. Mm-hmm. One of them is going to be the punter, and then they can pull somebody off their practice squad or somebody else that got cut if they want. So off another team, I mean, or one of their own cuts back. They could go get OJ Howard, which they won't do. All right.
So I think Kumaro is there for special teams, and Hodgins is on the practice squad in case somebody gets injured. He could move in and start dressing for games and then be a step closer.
All right, so that leads me to the question of the 53-man roster is effectively set. How do you feel about it? Is this a championship team?
Well, I told you I was watching some videos where people were saying the Bills really didn't upgrade at anything, and I don't agree with that.
Well, that's all right. So where do you feel they found upgrades?
Well, I think one is in the receiving core. I think Shakir is going to be used. They're going to find a way to use him. He may be their fifth receiver, but I think they're going to find a way to use him because he's dynamic. And I also think that Gabe Davis, is going to be a better number 2 than what we had last year, because who was the guy? I'm sorry.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders, a great player, of course, but at the end of his career. And he made some good plays this last year. But I think Davis is a big physical receiver, and we haven't had anything like that in a long time. If you want to call Benjamin a big physical receiver, he was big, he was physical, but he didn't seem to receive. Gabe Davis, he is big and he is physical, and he can catch the ball and he can get his feet in bounds. And I think that's a huge upgrade for us. And I think that McKenzie maybe finally found his time period.
All right.
And if he falters in any way or there's an injury, I think Shakir, I actually think Shakir might be the best rookie on our team right now.
Okay. All right.
Make an argument that he's the best rookie on the team.
Well, I hope that is not true, but okay. I think they need Elam to come through for them.
Well, they might, but I still think that Shakir isn't the best rookie on our team right now. That's just my opinion pre-season here.
Well, I'm saying again, I hope that Elam it actually is that he plays well and outplays that he thinks Shakir does, because they're depending on him.
Well, I think, and I agree with Bean when he said that cornerback is the second hardest position in the NFL behind quarterback.
Sure. Okay.
And for a guy to excel in cornerback, unless you are a pure natural, and there's very few of those around, that it takes you time to learn the NFL level.
George, they're depending on a guy to help them get to a Super Bowl who is a rookie. He needs to come through for them. If his nickname becomes Toast,
I think it would be unfair, because in reality, Trey White's your number 1 guy. And if this was a normal year, Trey White's your number 1 guy. You might have Elam a number 2 receiver, or you might have him splitting some time with Cam Lewis, because I'm not Cam Lewis, I'm sorry, Dane Jackson, because Jackson did play well for us last year, and he's got the NFL experience. So there wouldn't be that kind of pressure on Elam that you're putting on him because Trey White is injured. So to expect him to come out and perform like Trey White, I think is unfair, and we shouldn't be expecting that.
George, you said unfair. Who is going to tell the Los Angeles Rams that it's not fair of them to pass to the player that he's guarding?
All right. Well, but
how are they going to let their opponents know? Does McDermott walk out at center field and meet the coach before the game and be like, "Hey,
he's going to text him.
Don't pick on this guy."
Yeah, he's going to text him. Be kind. Rewind.
It's unfair.
Listen, if you're Frazier, this is your defense now.
Who's the coach of the Rams? McVay?
Yeah.
I think he's all about fairness.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, I think he is.
But if you're Frazier, you got to plan your defense now, knowing that they are going to target rookies. They're gonna. There's no question. And you're going to have to gear your defense to try and help him in every way possible. So you may have less 2 high safeties. You may have one closer to Elam to help him. You may have consistently only a 4-man rush and no blitzing. in order to flood the
Have a
back.
linebacker. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
so I mean, that you got to make plans. You're gonna know that this rookie, you can't expect him to be Trey White, and he wasn't even the number one cornerback picked.
no, I think he was the fourth,
fifth, maybe somewhere in there. Yeah.
I hear you.
You can't expect him to come out and perform like a Pro Bowler, and that's to go against a guy like Cooper Kupp, if that's who you're thinking. I mean, you're asking for Cooper Kupp to have an 11 reception, 187-yard day. That's
George.
Mhm.
George. All of that is fine, but that's just more points that the offense has to put on the board.
And that's right. And they're going to have to do it for the first half of the season in the roughest part of their schedule.
The roster doesn't. They did. The Bills chose not to go out and sign a veteran cornerback. There, a whole bunch of cornerbacks just got released. Some of them are veterans. They're going. They appear to be standing pat. That's on them. That ain't on me. I'm not reducing my expectations of what this team should be able to accomplish this year because Trey White got hurt last year. They've had plenty of time to find someone or develop someone or trade for someone. They chose not to do any of those things.
All right. So, well, that was their decision, but you can't blame it on Elon.
What I said was they need him to have. They need him to be their best rookie. They need him. If Shakir, if the receiver ends up being their best rookie this year, I think that could be a problem for them. I think that might mean that they're in trouble. That's what I believe is going to happen. I believe that Shakir is going to be. I think he's their best rookie right now, based on the preseason results. And I believe he's going to be their best rookie. Now, I think Elam might get more work. Yeah, you probably okay.
And I think there could be a problem. We'll see how the Bills coaches handle this, thinking that they may want to put in the other rookie, Benford. Okay. And they're not. It's going to go back and forth, and nobody's going to end up having confidence. And we saw that when they brought Josh Allen up, what did they do? They ended up taking him out and putting in Nate Peterman, for Christ's sake. And somebody made the comment, that McDermott loves Nate Peterman, and he was just dropped, and we could end up with Nate Peterman.
Go get him.
They get rid of Barkley and bring in Nate Peterman. So if that happens, but anyway, here, let me tell you before.
What else? So what we got on a tangent there. You were telling us about the 53-man roster and how you think they're set for the year.
Yeah, I think they upgraded in receiver because of Shakir, and I think that Davis is going to be a better number 2, and I think Crowder is a better backup to McKenzie than. Why can't I remember that last guy's name?
Crowder? Oh, the Beasley.
Beasley had problems and injuries, and I think the combination McKenzie Crowder is better than Beasley McKenzie. You're laughing at me.
Well, Beasley did have injuries, but you know what he did?
He got the ball.
He caught the damn ball. He caught the ball. He went out on the field and he played. He had a broken leg and won, and he played through it.
Yeah.
Crowder don't play through pain.
Yeah.
So as long as he don't get hit, they're fine.
Yeah. Well, he may not last that long because Shakir will end up taking that spot.
Well, that's fine. And McKenzie could end up being someone that will really add to that room, like if they depend on him more. My only concern there is that they've never asked him to play 17 games. Not as a receiver. In fact, I think they didn't dress him for a game last year. So they literally never asked to play 70 games.
That's why I think we'll see.
We'll have to see how he holds up to that.
I think we're going to see him spelled a lot. I think we'll see a lot of Shakir this year. All right, tight end. I thought That's the same. I don't see any difference there. They got Sweeney and Knox, and they got this rookie Morris who's on the practice squad. So that didn't change.
Right.
And in the tackle room, they added Quisenberry. They got rid of Daryl Williams.
Yeah.
I think that's an upgrade.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an upgrade or not, but Daryl Williams wasn't coming back.
Mhm.
They were going to release him because of his, I think they had signed him to a contract expecting he would play right tackle, and then he didn't. And they weren't going to keep that contract.
I think Saffold's an upgrade in the offensive line.
Could be. Okay. Upgrade over Feliciano, really. So that's
Yeah.
okay. That's it.
I certainly think we have an upgrade on the defensive end with Von Miller.
Yeah. That's
Bringing
it.
back Shaq Lawson. Shaq Lawson can set an edge, and he's a great run defender.
Okay.
And how many times did the runs kill the Bills in the last few years?
That's been a problem.
And then on defensive tackle, you brought back Jordan Phillips. You've got Tim Settle, Daquan Jones. You put some beef and some power on that interior of that line.
Okay.
How many times have we talked about collapsing the line? And I think now is the collapsing the pocket. And I think now is the time we might see that.
That would be nice.
And in linebacker, we got Milano and Edmonds, which that's the same. There's really no upgrade. That's who's going to be on the field. But Matakevich, I think, will be on the practice squad, or not practice squad, on the
special teams.
And you've got Dotson backing up Milano or Edmonds, and that's the same. But you've got these two guys, Bernard and Spector, who played very well. And we just don't know what we're going to get from them, because will they see the field? I hope so, because they were exciting.
They were exciting.
I watched them.
Spector was all over that.
Linemen would get out into the second level, and these guys would just get off that block immediately. They found a way to just quickly get off that block and make a tackle, shutting down the run game. And so we'll see. We'll see that we'll see if we see a lot of that. That might be the replacements for Edmonds.
All right.
This is his contract year he's playing for. Mm-hmm. So Edmonds has to play well. Otherwise, we'll see these guys in there, and they were exciting. Cornerback, you got. Well, I think that's an issue. You've got Dane Jackson as your number one cornerback. If you call that number one as a wide receiver, Taron Johnson's going to be on your slot receiver.
Right.
So that's the same.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a great job there. And then you're going to have Dane Jackson, and you're going to have Kyer Elam, and you're going to have Christian Benford, and they're going to be probably alternating.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're probably, well, Bedford may alternate with Elam, and he may alternate also additionally some Dane Jackson.
Do you think we'll see two rookies on the field at the same time?
Well, I think at times you might, because cornerbacks can play a lot of snaps, but sometimes they do get winded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they go in for a tackle and they get a stinger. They got to come out for a play. So I think we might, we actually could. If they don't want that, they might throw a Siran Neal out there instead. Right, that could certainly be.
Or Cam Lewis. I think that's where we're going to have some issues. Is we're going to have times when we really don't have a top veteran out there on the field in the cornerback position. You know, if Dane Jackson comes off, and he's our veteran right now, and Cam Lewis, if one of them are out there and come off, then you got to have a rookie out there as well.
That's right.
And realistically, I don't believe we'll see Trey White until maybe after the bye, maybe week 9.
Oh, okay. They've been very tight, close-mouthed, held that information close to the vest. They're not giving us really any indication as to what he may.
Well,
they haven't.
we know he's gone for the first 4 games.
We know that now. Yeah, we know
And
that
he
now.
can't even practice with the team until that time.
Yeah.
So you're not going to throw him out there in week 5. At least I don't think so, unless you're 0-4. But if you do that, you could be risking him for the rest of the season. You
Well,
really want him in the playoff run. So you got to be timely with him coming back, and he's going to need time to practice with his teammates and get in playing shape. And that puts me to week 8 or 9.
well, I think, we don't want to see them. He's got a long career still ahead of him. We don't want to see them rush him back and possibly turn a bad injury into a worse one.
Right.
I'm with you there.
We don't even know if he's going to be able to come back well from that injury.
The other thing I would throw at you is if they're sitting there in week 4 and they're looking at a wild card spot, then yeah, he'll have to play. And we'll see. That if they depend on these rookies or they depend on Dane Jackson and one of them or multiple of them are not producing the way they need them to, we could see a trade for someone, maybe draft picks for someone, or we might see them being like, "You're feeling pretty good, right, Trey? You're ready to go." You're ready to go. Have a Gatorade. You're good.
We'll see. We'll see. So I think for the Bills to lose games, you're going to have where the pass rush can't get pressure. And it gives the quarterback time to pick on these rookie cornerbacks. That's how you're going to beat the Bills. I don't think you're going to run against them like you have in the past. I think you're going to have to hold off. I think you're going to have to hold off the rush and give your quarterback time to throw against a rookie, put out top receivers against these guys. And, maybe they'll put Cam Lewis on the number 2 guy and put Elam on the number 1 guy, but give him help. Maybe they'll have him and a safety together, double teaming a guy.
Yeah. Listen, like you said, we've got a very experienced head coach and defensive coordinator. They've been very good at developing. Well, I guess you didn't mention, they've been really good at developing defensive backs.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there's 2 rookies in the mix now, but with the exception of that, all of these guys have been with them for years and have been trained for this defense for years. So it's their squad. I mean, their hands are all over it. They picked these guys, they developed these guys, and now they need to depend on them. And hopefully they'll be there for them and they will produce.
When you talk about that first week, and I hope we do one just on that first week.
Sure, we can do another video for that.
You're going to see where the Rams have some injuries at the running back position, and they're going to have to throw. And they're going to throw to the number 1 receiver in the league, and that's Cooper Kupp. So you got to find a way to take Cooper Kupp out of the game and make Allen Robinson beat you.
All right.
And, are you going to take Allen Robinson out of the game and let Cooper Kupp beat you? Or are you going to take Cooper Kupp out of the game and make Allen Robinson beat you? And I think that's what I would do if I was the defensive coach. I would make Allen Robinson beat me because Cooper Kupp's just an animal in a good way. Let's give him the credit he deserves. But yeah, let's talk about that when we do our game. Anyway, I think overall, we still see upgrades on the defensive line, the interior defensive line, the defensive ends, in the wide receiver room. And that's where I see our
improvement.
And if I see any downgrade, it's in the cornerback room because we don't have Trey White. We didn't bring in veterans. and we're going with rookies.
Trust the rookies.
Guys we had.
It
And
does look that way. It doesn't.
you know, that's pretty gutsy. You have to be saying our line is going to get the job done.
Sure.
We're going to stop them from running and force them into a long pass game, and then our guys are going to be able to get home.
Well,
and
I'll tell you
stop
what,
the pass.
to the commentary that there wasn't much changes in this 53-man roster, that's probably true. There wasn't a lot of changes. But as far as upgrade improvement goes, both offensively and defensively, they're depending on guys to improve. They're depending on Epineza, Rousseau, and Boogie Basham to have better years than they had last year. They're depending on Dane Jackson to continue to play well, and the two rookies in the defensive backfield to play well and improve probably throughout the season.
Yeah.
So Gabe Davis is a great example. They're going to ask more of him than they did last year, and they're counting on him to be effective.
Right.
To be a more effective number two than Sanders was last year, and Brown was, we could due to injuries, the year before. So they are depending on the guys that they are developing and developed. There's nothing wrong with that. That's one way to go. And we'll see how it works out, right? You still got the safety net of Allen and his abilities. So we'll see if they get into a bunch of shootouts or not. But all right. So are you ready to call it, to thank everyone? And is there anything else you got to say?
Yeah, no, just a quick recap. After doing my 53-man roster, 52-man roster preview, percentage-wise, and I didn't do the math, I think we got it about 94% correct, and I think that's pretty darn close.
That's good, yeah.
And a couple moves, a couple of misses like OJ Howard. I don't think that's a big problem.
You know, when you called Spector, you got Spector on the team. That was a good call.
Yeah. So I think we did pretty close. I think this is a good team. I think there's improvements and a lot on the front side of the defense and in the receiving game, and we'll see. So I'm ready.
All right.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. All right. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Feel free to comment. We enjoy reading the comments. For Meatball George, this is John signing off. Everybody, go Bills.
Bye, everybody. See you later.
That was good. We got according to my clock here, we got a minute left.
Yeah. All right. So we got to come up with a time when we can preview the first game. And
we can still do it tomorrow.
Yeah, because we got to do it enough time so people can see it.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that was fun.
And then tomorrow is our draft, right?
Sunday is our draft. Oh, Sunday we can do it tomorrow, or we can do it Monday. Either way, we can do the video. We'll do it this weekend before Tuesday, so we can get it up on Tuesday. All right. Bye.
See you later.